Hi, lovers. Welcome back to the Dirty Blonde podcast. I am your Dirty Blonde host, Bridgette B, and it's so good to be here. It's just one of those days. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and I don't have my period anymore, so I am feeling extra special. It's just one of those things. You're here for the real, right? You're here to be real and raw. And I was on my period, and it's just one of those situations where every single bone in your body just wants to eat a Big Mac or have some chocolate or just wants to hide under the covers, and sex is the last thing on your brain. Then you come out of it, and then you are horny as fuck. And that's where we are today, which is why I decided to take a little trip down the basics of porn. That's why you're here, right? Spit versus swallow. The title is not clickbait. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. You asked for it. You want it, and I'm going to tell you exactly why spit or swallow is just neither is good for the porn star. Is it neither, neither, either, or either? I'm going to have to Google that one. So buckle up, grab that cock, grab that cocktail, and join me as we spit or swallow. Let's take a little trip down memory lane, shall we? Let's go back to a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed little Bridgette B, just hopping and skipping around Beverly Hills, LA, thinking she was some hot shit, and really she didn't know anything. So when I first started in the industry, as many of you do know through past episodes, is that because my experience when I first started the industry was so positive, between the director being one of the best to the makeup artist being from Vogue, and my partner, my scene partner being a fellow Spaniard, it was just that recipe that created who I consider myself to be today. Had that experience gone shit, I wouldn't have continued. I think you already get from my personality traits that I take shit from no one. So, with that being said, one of the first experiences that I did have on a porn set in which I fucked it up was where a spit and swallow situation occurred. Now, I didn't know my way through a set. It was definitely very much a learning curve. I really felt like I had to, how do I say this? In order for me to be who I am today, I had to take it upon myself from day one to be the best at it, whatever that is. So if it meant sucking dick, I was going to be the best at it. Now, the thing is that I wasn't familiar with the technicalities. There you go. With the technicalities of the industry. Like I'm sure I've said before, and you already know through the podcast, I'm not trying to burst your porn bubble. It's still entertainment. If you are a consenting adult over the age of 18, you have every fucking right to watch whatever it is that you want. So I'm not trying to burst that entertainment bubble for you. I am, though, sharing my experiences and kind of just going behind the billion-dollar industry. You know what I'm saying? So with the situation that happened on this particular set, I fucked it up. I had no idea what I was doing. I think it was my second or third time. I was hungry. I knew I had to get somewhere that night, so I was in a rush, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, when the pop shot happened, aka the money shot, I swallowed. Fuck. I did the unthinkable, which meant you, the viewer, weren't seeing the money shot. You weren't seeing the pop shot. Now, why did I do that? Well, at that point, again, a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed little Bridgette B running around had a lot of excitement and, yeah, I'm here. This is great. This is so much fun. And you kind of forget, which is what separates a performer from just a regular girl sucking dick. There is so many different nuances and one of these days I'm going to say that word right. Technicalities that goes into shooting a mainstream porn movie that the average viewer doesn't see, which is why I'm not trying to burst that bubble for you. So when I ruined that pop shot, I never did that again, because an entire day's work, which for most people assume it's, 20 minutes and it's borderline child labor. No, I'm kidding. It's not all day. But an entire day's work was down the tubes, fucked up. Without that pop shot, without that money shot, there's no movie, right? Because that is the ending to a scene. The pop shot, the money shot is that, that sealed with a kiss, that little bit of, here you go. We are wrapping up this movie. We're putting a really big, pretty fucking bow on it, and it's over. So I fucked it up. And like I said, I learned to never do that again. Luckily, everyone on that set was so nice, so courteous, such gentlemen. It's why I always put into context that my experience in the porn industry for so many people is such a unicorn, such a dichotomy of experiences that they see on, like Boogie Nights or something, and they can't believe that, no, she's lying. Her experiences in porn aren't that great. They were. Even though I fucked up the movie, even though I had to go back another day and reshoot everything, I learned from my mistakes because they were so kind and they took their time to teach me, to where I think here we are years later. The craft of porn making is so vital to the industry, because anyone can pick up a camera and call themselves, a porn star. It's the true performers that know these little details. So then after that happened, I went home and cried. Oh, I got in my red Mustang. Oh, this bitch sure did have a red Mustang convertible in LA. I got in my little Mustang and was crying. Oh my God, I'm never going to get asked back. I fucked it up. I was so hard on myself. And sure, for some people, it's hashtag porn star problems. But when they explain to me why it is that you don't spit it out and why it is that you don't swallow it, oh, it made sense. Because I had to learn quickly that what I do at home doesn't translate on film. As you are well aware, we like to bring it back to basics around here. We like to take things into its most basic form. In the last episode, I let you guys know that the way I tackle my everyday life, any big situations, any big thoughts, I like to take them down into little bits, just little crumbs, so that when I digest them, when I take them in, I don't get so full. You know what I'm saying? So when we go into spin and swallow, let's go into, well, what the fuck is semen, right? What is semen? When I was younger, every single drop of semen meant another baby. Every fucking drop that got anywhere near me, I was like, oh shit, I'm pregnant. I was super curious, and I wondered why it is that my boyfriend at the time, the guy I lost my virginity to, who I thought I was going to get married, yada, 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 was always pulling out and, putting it all over me. It's like, what, no, do not put that anywhere near me. Fucking come in your hand or on the floor. And because I thought that every single drop had a baby in it. So he did that because that's what he would see in porn. He saw that the guy, the performer, was always pulling out and doing a facial or what have you. And, you know, cream pie scenes are a whole different genre. We're just talking about spits and swallowing at this point. So when I realized that, all right, Bridgette, calm the fuck down, sperm only makes like 1 to 5% of what you see. The rest, like 90% of it, is just water. It's not going to do anything to you. So other than the potential of carrying an STD, and I've exhausted myself letting you all know that we are possibly the cleanest fucking people walking around because of how much we get tested. And unless you're allergic, and I feel really bad for any female who's allergic to sperm, who's allergic to semen, that's gotta be awful. And I wouldn't even know. We should maybe talk to someone. It'd be curious to know if any females in the industry are allergic and how they go around it, because I can't imagine you could be in the industry being allergic, but hey, you never know. So other than the potential of an STD, etc., there's no real danger. And at that point, it's just preference. Unless, you are a porn star. So, if you listened to anything earlier on in this particular episode, I've been saying I'm not trying to break or burst your entertainment bubble of the XXX industry. It's just it's like watching Independence Day and realizing that the UFO isn't real. You're still going to watch it. You're still going to enjoy, and you're still going to word for word reenact that wonderful speech that the president makes, and with the whole war thing, and we are here, and whatever he says. We all do, because I do it all the time. But you're still going to watch it. So let's just keep going with that sort of train of thought. So if you are a porn star, right, and you are a consenting adult, I'm there to work. I'm not there to get off. I'm not there to, quite frankly, even enjoy myself. At the end of the day, the porn star's goal, the porn star's way of obtaining that check is to finish the movie, is to entertain you, the viewer. So if I'm not getting paid to enjoy myself, then what the fuck am I doing? Well, Bridgette, if you're not having fun, then why are you a porn star? How wonderful is it to be able to wake up and be happy to go to work? If you are a manager at In-N-Out, if you are a sales associate at Steve Madden, or if you are a waitress at P.F. Chang's, isn't it wonderful to know that you wake up and you are surrounded by good coworkers, you are in a healthy and positive environment, and when you are done, you come home with money. So you can do whatever the fuck you want at the end of the day. That's basically what the adult industry is for me. It's allowed me to be free. It's allowed me to express myself in a healthy and positive environment. And as much as people want to roll their eyes, I consider it acting, and I consider it a craft that I'm very proud of. So at the end of my day, the reason I am Bridgette B is because of you, the fans. It's because of the wonderful millions upon millions of people that make this industry $1 billion plus industry. So my job is to entertain you. It's not to enjoy it. And I say that very lightly, and I tread on caution, because the last thing I want anyone to think is that it's all glory and orgies and three-ways and Playboy mansions. It's not. There is some sides to the industry that I haven't experienced, but they do exist, and I know they're there. However, when you get to the basics of it, as we love to do on this channel, it's really me entertaining you. Hopefully you jerk off, or hopefully you are jerking someone off, or you're eating someone's pussy at some point because of myself and my coworkers. So in fact, with the money shot and the pop shot being 99.99% of the time the definitive end to the movie, as we said before, the end credit, in your personal life, you don't have a cameraman panning away into the sunshine or a talent assistant just waiting for you haphazardly on the side with some baby wipes and some paper towels to make sure you're nice and clean before you go into the bathroom. At home, in your personal life, spitting versus swallowing takes on a whole different meaning. At home, and in my experiences growing up and dating and being in relationships and having sex in general, you realize that a lot of times in what I consider to be that personal experience, spitting versus swallowing is almost that same, does she like me versus does she not? If she's not swallowing, does she really like me? She's not doing her job as a girlfriend, etc. So when I say spitting versus swallowing on a porn set is so much different to the personal life, is because in your personal life, you are giving it a whole different meaning. I don't give a flying fuck if perhaps his sperm tastes like shit, right? A lot of times men will eat broccoli or drink alcohol or smoke cigarettes, which is just so retro. I'm sorry. And all of those things combined, and sometimes taking certain hormones, taking Viagra, etc., will make your semen taste like virtual dog shit. And you all expect your bitch to eat it. What if she doesn't like it? It has nothing to do with you. It just means it's just not her preference. So on camera, that option doesn't exist. If his shit tastes like broccoli, if his shit tastes like asparagus or whatever the fuck he's eating, I have as my porn star duty to make it seem like it tastes like motherfucking chocolate. I have to look at it like it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because it's my job. It's my job to entertain you. And will it really be entertaining if that pop shot fell on the tip of my nose, landed on my lip, and I went, ugh, ew, gross. The fuck did you eat today? Well, there goes the movie. There goes 8 hours of what we just shot going down the tubes. And there goes what I did in my first couple of scenes. So when you realize that, oh, okay, so that's why you're not getting to see that experience on camera, is because if we were to spit it out or if we were to swallow, it is equivalent to missionary in the back of a pickup truck. No one's going to see shit. Now, having sex in the back of a car, missionary style, is delicious. When you're with that person that you fucking just want to fuck, and you're just on top of them, and you're in some ditch somewhere, and you can't get enough of each other, and you're in there, right? Oh my God, amazing. Well, if there's a camera guy there, and it's dark, he can't see anything. So, same thing with swallowing. If I were to do that on camera, you wouldn't see anything. Therefore, ergo, no end to the movie. Now, of course, there is the whole aspect of the industry that no one forces you to do anything you don't want to do, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Been there, done that. Don't come for me. I've already talked about it. So if I don't like certain performer, if a girl's pussy was not to my liking, hey, nice meeting ya. It was nice fucking ya. Won't do it again. Put them on my no list. It's very simple. But for that time being, and it's not like we are exactly going around and tasting each other before we work with each other. So all these little nuances that make porn what it is, the great entertainment, is exactly for its value, and is exactly why it should be taken as such. So, swallowing or spitting on a porn set has a lot of a different meaning, and it holds a different virtue than it does when you do it at home. I hope that this episode kind of enlightened you just a little bit and hopefully opened up that conversation with your partner. I know a lot of my girls that listen to me, if you feel that it's something you don't want to do and you just don't like it, no one should be forcing you, and that is your preference. If, however, you are in that position where you want to do better, you want to be good, you want to take that cum down your throat, or you want to spit, or you want to swallow it, go ahead and do that too. You do whatever it is the fuck that you want to do. However, if you are making a paycheck and you are on a porn set, it's a little bit different. Well, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Please don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, and rate wherever you pod, and join the party over at YouTube. Shit is getting so fun. And once a week on OnlyFans, this podcast gets even naughtier because I show you in depth. I already tackled deep throating and how I get off. This week, it's going to be exactly what the subject is about, but you're going to have to tune in and check it out for yourself. Make sure and leave a review and let us know what you think and what you want to see next. Have a very, very sexy rest of your week. I can't wait to party with you next week. And don't forget, life is too short. Just do whatever the fuck makes you happy. See you next week. Bye.